that's really when I started being intentional about like my learning and my education within astrology. I could see that none of these things were like random. You know, if I have someone that comes to me and they're like, I want to know how to brand myself, or
how to brand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like when I'm marketing myself, what's the best way to basically put myself on display? The tides of the oceans are controlled by the moon.
Right.
And we're like 70 to 80% water.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back to Might Get Loud. I'm Brittany Racine, and ever since I started the podcast, I have been looking for somebody who specializes in astrology. Today, we're finally bringing it to you. Allie is an integrative healing practitioner, and I actually met her through Kirsten, who was on season 1 of the podcast. She's the psychic medium from Revive Wellness Spa. I also did the Halloween mini-series with her. So she connected me with Allie, who specializes in astrology, birth charts, and different healing hypnosis therapies. Now, astrology really has nothing to do with psychic mediums or anything that we dabbled in during the Halloween series. I have personally never done anything with astrology. I know my zodiac. I read a horoscope back in 2002, but I know it's such a trending topic right now, and this conversation absolutely blew my mind. I think a lot of us think that astrology is something that's just like pulled out of thin air, some kind of hypothesis, but listening to the science behind it is honestly unbelievable. Before you go into this, I want you to know that I've never met Allie before. She doesn't know anything about me. She's not predicting my future or telling me anything about myself. She's simply just reading a chart. She is reading data and analyzing data and telling me what the chart says. Today is going to be part 1 of this conversation. We're talking all astrology today, and next week we're going to get into the hypnosis, the subconscious, and she's going to really tie it all together for us. So here is Allie. She's adorable, she's smart, and she has the best hair ever.
I am here with Allie today. We are at Revive Wellness Spa, and Allie is an integrative, I already forgot. What is it?
Integrative healing practitioner.
Integrative healing practitioner. I got it. So what exactly is that?
So within my practice, I am an astrologer and a QHHT practitioner, which essentially stands for quantum healing hypnosis technique, and also a hypnotist and an integrative life coach. So essentially, I don't really see these tools as necessarily separate. They can be used as separate, but I like to use them interchangeably or together to really give my clients a full encompassing session. But oftentimes I'll use astrology as my roadmap, regardless of the session I do. And that's just because it just helps me cut through like all of the surface level stuff and just get straight to like emotions, mental energy, things like that, just so like I said, we're like going beyond the surface level and we can spend more time working on the real stuff rather than just like
trying to figure it out first. Right. Okay. Was this something you were always interested in? I don't even know where to start. Like, is it something that you've always kind of gravitated towards?
Yeah. So essentially, like most of my life, I was the kid that was getting all my cousins around to sit in a circle because I wanted them to like say the chant from Halloween Town and like
I was like what Bloody Mary, what is it?
Yeah, like
stiff as a board. I don't even know.
But I also grew up in a Christian house, and as much as I am deeply grateful for that path and giving me a strong foundation, it also didn't give me a lot of space to grow and really tap into my intuition. So I was more so just like this little girl who had big feelings and was like just feeling everybody else's feelings. And I had no concept of how to actually utilize those gifts without being consumed by them. So then in 2018, my life just literally got ripped out from underneath me. But it was like after years of, not being happy, and I was in an abusive relationship for a year. And that'll stop you in your tracks,
Yeah.
So.
I also feel like because you weren't able to like navigate and explore these different things that you always had, it probably made you feel very just like unstable for a long time.
Yeah. And like looking back now, I can see why that was such an essential part of my life. The whole path that I was going down, it wasn't for me. I mean, I was going to school for veterinary medicine. I was miserable because I was trying to cram myself inside of science classes that like I couldn't comprehend in the same way that I do this world. So then after I was like forced into a period of stillness and like everything in my life was changing, that's when I finally changed my degree from vet medicine into psychology. And after I started that, I was like, holy crap, like this is easy. Why is it like why is it so easy for me to just
understand psych?
Yeah. But it was because I spent most of my life already doing that and I was a bartender and a server for years. So I was already doing the talk therapy for free.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you did psychology.
Mhm.
How did astrology start with that? Or was there like a class you took that tapped into that?
In like the first year of just some of the more of the basics and stuff. And I started to learn about this concept called neuroplasticity. And that just sent me down like a rabbit hole. And at this point, I'm already not as well versed in astrology as I am today, but I had enough of like curiosity and learning that I had a good set point. But then after I started my psych classes, everything started to come together. And that's really when I started being intentional about like my learning and my education within astrology. I could see that none of these things were like random. You know, it's not
Like you're like, how could these be random when
yeah.
they're so connected?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you like love space stuff in school?
I was more of like the Greek mythology type thing. I was like always the one in school. I would always say I had my therapy sign on my forehead because
People
people
would just unload.
always. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Which I mean, like in retrospect, I get it now, but now I'm actually better at like creating energetic boundaries with myself. So I'm not just,
Sucking it all in,
Yeah.
absorbing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never done anything actually astrology related. I see things on Instagram that are like, oh, it's a whatever moon. And if you're the Aries or whatever it is, then you have abundance coming your way or whatever. But I only know what I am.
Mhm.
And I feel like it sounds like me, so it makes sense. But I have never dug into it. I've never had a birth chart reading. I guess I just don't know the power of it. So we're going to use me as an example today, which is going to be so fun because I think a lot of people will also understand the capabilities and what they can get out of having a birth chart reading. So I think the best way to do it, I think, is going to be an example. You know, my birthday is April 11th. I was born in Ann Arbor and my time was 7:30 in the morning. Is that all you need?
Yep.
The time, the birthday, and the location?
Yep.
Okay, so where do you normally start?
It'll always depend on like how much time I have. Obviously, like with the client, I'm always going to hit on something called the big three. And this is really just a easy foundation to start with that most astrologers will start with. And so that's going to be your sun, your moon, and your rising.
Okay.
So for you, you know that you're an Aries sun.
So that's my sun.
Yep, that's your sun sign.
Okay.
So the sun represents really the essence of who you are. And so it's not the overall personality of you, but it does dictate a lot of choices within your life path. And then your moon sign, that's going to be your emotional energy and your sense of security. And it'll also point to oftentimes the relationship that you have with your mother as well.
Is that the time of day or the location?
So that one is going to be, it's essentially based on where the moon was positioned at the time of your birth. But
oh, so that's the time. Okay.
So, well, essentially all of it is based off the time really, but where it gets like more intricate. So the moon changes signs roughly every 2 days. So like someone that's born within 2 days of you likely is going to have a different moon sign. Whereas the ascendant or the rising, they're used interchangeably. This is something that's going to change every couple hours or so.
Okay.
So like, let's say just based off of your chart, like if you were born 10 minutes earlier, you'd be an Aries rising. So, and there was even a couple times when I was looking at your chart where I was like, I really hope her time is spot on.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the chart? What does mine tell you?
First thing I would look at is that Aries sun, and then you are in Aquarius moon, and then a Taurus rising. So first thing I always go to is going to be your sun sign in Aries. And for you, that's placed in the 12th house. So
what is that? What's a house?
So the houses are going to be the areas of life where we essentially execute this energy. So your first house, for example, is going to be the self. The second house is going to be your values and finances. Third house, your communication.
Is everybody's houses like the same?
It's always going to represent the same thing. So your first house is always going to be the self.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how that shows up for other people is going to be dictated by the sign. So, for example, you're a Taurus rising, and someone that is, for example, let's say a Capricorn rising, they're going to have a different way that they show up in the world, because your rising sign is going to be how people perceive you once they first meet you.
Okay.
So this is the 12th house right here. Your sun and Mercury both in the sign of Aries. So there is that independent nature. There's that fiery energy. They're also quick initiators too. So it's like, kind of once you get the idea in you, you're like, all right, let's go.
Yes,
Yeah.
I get like hung up on it.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, I can't do anything else until
Yeah.
I get this over with.
Yeah.
Like I can't just be like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'm like, I must do it immediately.
Oh, I love that for you though.
I know, but sometimes it's annoying because then if I'm like, I don't have time to do it today, I'm doing other things, then I can't sleep at night because I'm like, okay, I have to plan the whole thing in my head so that tomorrow it's like done.
Yep.
By the time I wake up.
There's also this need, because of the 12th house rules over the realms of the subconscious. That's an indicator for me that you need time to recharge on your own. The cool thing about this dynamic, some people, if they don't have their time, this happy balance almost of like, you're fine recharging in your own energy, but you're also fine being around other people. Essentially, they don't mind being a hermit. But this placement, Jupiter, in your first house is like, it's honestly one of my favorite placements to see in a chart, because these type of people have such magnetic energy. Like,
I can't even be a hermit.
girl, like you have, I don't even think you realize how much you can light up a room. Like when you walk in it.
Wait, don't say that. I feel like I'm going to be in a murder documentary now. She lit up a room. Oh, she's about to die.
No, it's just that people are just drawn to your energy because you have, like, Jupiter's a planet of expansion and good fortune and abundance. So having it placed in your first house brings all of your energy to life. Like, let's say that Jupiter wasn't placed here and just as a Taurus rising, oftentimes Taurus risings have a pretty grounded and like very, very stable approach to life. But like Jupiter here is like, we're going to have some fun though. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
we can be slightly grounded, but having fun.
yeah, we're having fun the whole time.
Yeah. If it's not fun, I'm not going.
Yeah. One of the reasons this is my favorite placement in a chart is because I'm like fully convinced that the moment these people, once they get out of their own way and they make a decision that they want to do something and they just set their energy to it, it's like they can pull things out of thin air. Like,
okay,
it's such a strong manifesting ability. Just dial in, and then money out of thin air, or like great opportunities out of thin air, you know? So like,
so I got to use that.
yeah, you do.
Okay.
Really know that if you set your energy towards something and you want to accomplish it, there's not much that can get in your way. Like, truly.
Okay, cool. I'm excited that I have like good fortune right there.
Oh yeah, girl, I'm gonna drop some positive bombs on you, because like,
oh, good.
You do have such a well of like energy within your chart. Don't let the world just take up all your energy.
Okay.
Like, you know, I feel like you have a very introspective mind, and you're also wildly curious about a number of different topics, and you have a strong ability to communicate with a range of different people. So with your moon sign, this is going to be your emotional energy.
Is that my Taurus thing?
Nope, this is going to be in the sign of Aquarius. So
that's my moon.
Yep. So your moon is going to be the emotions, it's your sense of inner security, and it's a part of us that we don't necessarily show to everybody. Having an Aquarius moon, they're, very multifaceted. The Aquarius, you guys, you care so much about the world that you have to be very mindful about where you invest your energy.
Okay.
Because it's almost like once your energy becomes a part of something, you have to either like solve it or take care of it. Like if a friend came to you and was like, hey, I need XYZ help with, and you're like, okay, yeah, I can help you with that. It's like you can't stop
until it's done?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So eventually there has to come a point in your life where you do have some sense of boundaries within that. Aquarius energy is very forward thinking. It's very innovative. It's very outside of the box. So there's a good chance you're already like 5 steps ahead of other people before. So like you actually have to feel within your spirit that they're going to match like your level of determination because
Otherwise, I'm frustrated.
yeah. And like your Aries sun, she just wants to go. Like,
Yes.
don't waste my time. I feel like people would perceive you between like the Taurus and the Aries energy. That's at least how I perceived you first.
Yeah.
Is like definitely get the Aries energy and the Taurus rising with the Jupiter in the first. That's like your big energy.
Okay.
And I love it.
I know. That's so. I just thought I was Aries, which I mean is a lot of energy, I think, in itself. But I didn't know Jupiter mattered that much.
The fact that it's in your first house that already dictates over like a huge piece of your identity. It's going to play into the way that you show up in the world.
So is that what the planets do? Like they all have different meanings? So is Jupiter like just energy and manifesting?
Jupiter is going to be expansion. It's going to be growth, abundance. But it also expands on anything it touches. So, like,
so Jupiter's like magnetic?
Yeah, she's literally the largest planet that we have like in our solar system. So
what's like Uranus? You don't want it.
Chaotic.
Really?
Yeah, she's pretty chaotic, but it's so like that's the planet that creates change in our life that traditionally we would not take out of comfort. So it's like quick changes. You know, you have Uranus that pulls up to your moon sign, for example, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna shake it up in here. But
so it's kind of like drama.
It can be depending on how you
Uranus is drama.
Yeah, some other problem.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
is Earth is just like ghetto. Earth is ghetto. I saw this meme the other day and I was dying because it was like aliens are driving past Earth and they're like, ew, the ghetto. I'm like, it's probably true, honestly.
Literally. I feel like they tucked us into the furthest corner of the solar system and they're like, you guys
stay put.
Like,
yeah. Oh my gosh. So what's Mercury?
So Mercury is going to be your mental energy, the way that you communicate. For you, that's also an Aries. So it's going to be like just
straight
as
point, just straight to it.
Yeah, you have that really hot, quick energy of the Aries, but going inward to like recharge or to reflect on your ideas and sometimes you might actually spend time like being in a thought loop, like just
you're like, why am I saying that?
just over and over and over.
Yeah,
but
no, that does kind of make sense because I feel like I am very like I just tell you what I think. But then if I break it down, I'm like, I don't really know why I think that. I still think that. Like I didn't say something that I didn't mean. I did mean it, but I don't really. Let me break it down as to why I don't like that or why I don't know, feel a certain way about it.
Yeah, which is actually very self-reflective. Like double down on your opinion.
So if someone's Mercury is in their first house, are they like just super like, I don't want to say emotional?
It's more so they like have to express themselves.
Okay.
It's like
feel heard about how they feel and stuff?
Yeah, someone with Mercury in the first, a lot of people will know them for like their talking or their ability to talk or their communication
and their feelings and stuff.
Or like a gift for gab. Where let's say like the moon was placed in the first house, that's someone who wears their emotions all over their face.
So if you're doing a birth chart reading on someone, you just go through their specific thing?
Yeah, I'd love to say that there's like a uniform way that I do it, but oftentimes I'll just start with like the big three and then it's just building the puzzle together. So, and it also depends if they have like something specific in mind. Like if I have someone that comes to me and they're like, okay, I want to know about my patterns in relationships.
Oh yeah, how do you read that?
So for this, I would look towards your 7th house. I'd look towards Venus. I'd look towards Jupiter, your moon sign.
What do mine say?
So the first thing that I had picked up here is like Jupiter in the first house for you and then Pluto in the 7th. And so one of the first things that came to me around this is I almost felt like part of you learning to allow yourself to step into the Jupiter energy here, where it's like letting yourself be seen, letting yourself and not feeling like you're like taking up too much space or that you need to dim your light. I feel like that there was either periods in your life where relationships, like there was like almost this battle where like you were trying to be more of yourself and just wanted to like light, just be your light. And then this Pluto in the 7th house energy, which is your relationships, it's like, it just
Dimming
feels like
it.
cramming it down.
Totally.
See, and that's where I would look at like your Venus sign. So Venus is the planet of love, of our values, the things that we find pleasure in relationships, love. So for you, you have Venus in the sign of Gemini, and Gemini is a very
Two-faced?
no.
Sorry, I'm the stereotypical one over here.
No, it's so like how I would read this is in the realms of love for you. You can't have somebody that's just black and white.
Mhm.
It's like it can't just be like them telling you, "Oh my God, that you're so pretty," and like you need to be told that you're smart, that you need to be able to have these conversations, like mentally stimulating conversations.
So does this say like patterns? Like, do I have toxic patterns? To a degree, but
It's not so much that like you have toxic patterns. It's that like having Pluto placed in the 7th house. So Pluto is such a slow moving planet that for everybody, it'll only make it through probably half of your chart throughout your life. So,
oh really?
oh yeah. Like right now, let's see,
What does Pluto
Pluto's
even do?
literally life and death. It's transformation. It's the phoenix. It's the bird that lights itself on fire and then rebirths itself from its
So you
ashes.
don't want that in your first house?
Not necessarily, but like oftentimes, like when I see Pluto in the first house, something happens like when they're younger where it's like near death experience or weird accident or yeah, like weird things like that. But then like for you, I feel like Pluto in your 7th house, I feel like the rebirth was literally like through relationship. Like if I had to guess, it probably brought you to your knees. And then
And that's Pluto. Okay.
yeah, I do feel like she did some numbers to your
To my relationships.
yeah, but that's
Thanks,
also
Pluto.
that's at a soul level though, because like your soul plans out this blueprint for you, like this roadmap. So the fact that your soul chose to have Pluto in the 7th house means that there was a very intentional desired experience to transform relationships and to build them back up from the ground up. And so
To break a bad habit.
yeah, and it's not even just like in this lifetime, it's like at a soul level.
This just is so tying back into my Kirsten stuff.
Is it?
Yeah, because she said that I came to break a cycle of bad relationships too. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, this happens with her and I all the time.
Get excited?
We'll like when we work with different people and then like we circle back around and like the person will be like, Kirsten said the same thing to me, or like,
but like in totally different topics.
Yes, making the choice that you're worth more than that situation. Like that's really when the trajectory and the patterns of your life start changing because you know for damn sure you're never doing that again.
No. And I do think my Jupiter was so dimmed in that time of my life. And I was like, I'm just waiting to explode right now.
That's kind of the beauty in like navigating the path of Pluto in your 7th house. And like if you really want to add another layer onto it, Pluto being in the sign of Scorpio.
My ex was a Scorpio.
That is nuts. That is nuts. Okay. Yes.
What?
Yes.
He was my Pluto over there?
Dude, that
just being all cold and judgy.
Yeah, dude, that is that's so perfect. Okay. Because like this all makes sense to me as in like regards to Pluto needing to deconstruct something. It has to
and then I said my Jupiter was getting dimmed.
And she did. And she did.
Yeah. So did I break that? Or it's going to circle back?
No, I genuinely feel like it's too good. It's too good.
There's no way.
Let's say the time of your divorce in comparison to where you're at now. Like, how much has your life changed?
It's like not even the same life at all. Like 100% not.
Yeah. And you literally went through the death and rebirth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so can you like look at someone's birth chart and be like, okay, this is who you should go out with?
To some extent. So
like what would be my best match?
I hate to say it, but like Sagittarius. Like other fire signs go really well with other fire signs because like they just share all of that energy. But there is like when the arguments happen, it's like you're the dumbest person I've ever met.
You know nothing. Yeah.
You know?
All right. I'll take it. Wait, what's your sign?
I am a Pisces.
Oh, you are?
Yep. And then
Kirsten told me those ones are extra intuitive.
Yeah. Kirsten's actually, sorry,
She's a
Kirsten.
Pisces too, isn't
Kirsten's a triple Pisces. She is all Pisces. Yes, literally.
I believe it.
Yeah. When I looked at her chart, I had to pick my mouth up off the ground and be like, are you okay?
You're not real.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it was crazy. And then all of it, almost all of her energy is like packed in her 12th house, being like the realm of the unseen, the subconscious. We just hit it off, and she's been like incredible, monumental to my journey. And
me too, and I don't even have any cool powers.
Dude,
but she helps me a lot.
Yes,
I love her.
Oh my gosh, the moment that we can convince you.
Okay, never mind. I forgot my Jupiter is like
yeah, dude.
Badass.
You have superpowers. And you're way more intuitive and tuned into your ability to like feel into other people than I feel like you realize.
So what else do you find out? Like, what about career or like?
So your career, you're going to look at a point called your midheaven, and this is going to be the highest point of your chart right up here. So this is always the placement that I'm going to go to if I have someone that comes to me and they're like, I want to know how to brand myself, or
how to brand?
Yeah. Okay. Like when I'm marketing myself, what's the best way to basically put myself on display? There's a couple placements for you here. The first one being that you have Mars, the planet of action and raw energy, in your 10th house, which rules over career. So at first glance, I'm like, yeah, you're pretty much always going to feel this pull and drive towards building a legacy and building something that kind of feels greater than yourself. You know, I personally have 3 planets in my 10th house. So I feel that as well. Like I have a huge drive towards like building a legacy. But like, let's say that somebody had an empty 10th house and it was in like the sign of Cancer, let's say. That person might be known less about being like the boss or the one that like, you know, does this, and this, but more so their public image is going to be about like they make a beautiful home. Different planets in that house are going to cause different drives towards what you really want to create. Yours being in the sign of Capricorn, like it doesn't necessarily matter what you create. It just needs to have a strong structure to it. And Capricorns are okay with seeing something through. Like they're okay with like start to finish and doing it the correct way. Even if other people are like, you're taking too long, or, you know, like you'll figure out all the ins and outs of it to make it work right and to build this solid structure. And Capricorns, like, they like the finer things, you know? So it's like your aesthetic, if that's why I said, like, when I looked at your Instagram, like your socials, it's perfect and it's right in
it goes with that.
Yes, it 100% does. So the Aquarius energy that's kind of paired in here with Mars, there is almost this like unique stand outish, like whatever you create, I don't really feel like it's going to be any type of copy and paste of anything else. I feel like it needs to have that unique flair or innovative, different than what other people are doing. Because truthfully, I feel like you would just get bored. Like if it was like, so I actually printed off your transit chart.
What is it?
So this is called a transit chart. This essentially is the planets where they are right now in the sky, and then in comparison to your chart. So like this inner chart right here, this is your personal chart, and this outside is the planets
Today.
right now. Yep. So the reason that astrologers use transit charts is because it kind of helps us identify
when certain things are going to happen.
Exactly. So like very specific themes and cycles that you'll be going through, and depending on your own personal placements, what could potentially unfold as a result. So
okay.
Would you like to know?
Yeah. Tell me my future.
Okay, so we should probably go back to we'll say like 2022 and 2023.
Oh, we're going backwards too?
Yeah, I'm gonna start backwards.
And do you want to go to 2020? It's gonna be real bad. No, I'm kidding. You'll be like, your Pluto is literally exploding.
No, that was
Uranus is causing like, drama too.
So like, okay, let's go back to
no, we don't have to actually. Unless you like, this is exciting. I want to talk about it.
Well, that's actually usually my like starting point is I go back to 2020 just because it was a
shit show of everything. Yeah,
like everyone.
But mine was extra bad.
For you, it would have been, I would look at where the eclipses were moving through your houses. So at that time, they would have been going through your second and eighth house, which are your money houses. Um, and because the eighth house rules over shared resources, I feel like I know where that went.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would have started off as like the money aspect of it. Plus, you have like COVID in there. And so either everyone's like back at home working or trying to find new alternatives. Either way, everyone's money's getting messed up.
Do you want me to tell you what was happening?
Yeah.
This was 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was getting divorced, we owned a restaurant, and it was supposed to be his career because I was doing real estate.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, now that we're getting divorced, I'm never going back there. So I had to take it over. But I really found out that it actually had been bleeding money to death since we opened it. And it was literally like $250,000 underwater.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, I'll throw up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's like tip of the iceberg.
Oh,
Yeah.
I bet.
And then when he left and I had to take it over, I didn't have like logins to anything to figure out where the hell anything was. And then I was like finding out how bad it was at that time.
Yep.
On point with my planets.
Yep. So then, literally right after that cycle, the eclipses would have moved into your first house and your seventh house. So let's say, so 2020 to 2021, your finances, and then 2022 to 2023 is when the first house of the self and then the seventh house. And that's when Pluto was like,
Yes.
yeah.
Because we moved, and that's when I was like, all right, that was my rebirth started.
Yeah. Damn. Okay, so then, so let's say end of 2023, the houses, they would have moved into your sixth house and your 12th house. And honestly, this is when things can kind of slow down a little bit and you do tend to be more introspective or just like being okay if like you're just spending a little bit more time by yourself. And honestly,
This was what, those 2 years?
Yeah.
2023, you said?
I would say 2023, 2024
Okay.
in that area.
I feel like
Give
I
or
was
take.
working really hard on work, but also on like self.
Yes, 100%. And it's literally the house of the subconscious and the inner worlds
Mm-hmm.
versus your health. Like,
Yes, it was all like internal.
yeah. And so it really becomes like a time of like soul searching. You
Yes.
know?
Okay,
And-
this
yeah.
is so weird. I'm dying right now.
Yeah. So like on one end of it,
That's when I met Kirsten too.
and that is so on par. That is so on par. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely makes sense that that's when like the door
All
opened
that.
with Kirsten. And,
Yes.
Yeah. And because there's a placement called the North Node, which is essentially what your soul wants to embody throughout this lifetime versus your South Node is what your soul is already familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually have the North Node in Pisces. So your soul wants to explore this
Okay.
realm, wants to learn how to play with your intuition, learn how to trust it, learn what your gifts are, just open up to this world.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you have to go, build a career of being a medium or
Yeah. But I want to
like,
play with it.
yeah. So where you're at now is
So this is where I'm at today.
so where you're the house that you're the eclipses are getting ready to move into for you. I think it's February 17th, we have a solar eclipse in Aquarius. So the solar eclipse that happens on February 17th, that's going to be in your 11th house. So this is when the energy starts to shift from being in like your health houses to more of a social house. So
Okay.
I personally feel like you're going to have a number of opportunities, which makes sense with the podcast.
In February, you mean?
Yes, throughout this whole next year. It's just going to be this evolution of expanding your communities, expanding your groups, your friendships, and eventually it's going to hit on your moon sign. So
Which I already forgot what that is. Oh, mine's Taurus.
your emotional
Oh.
side. So it's going to, your moon in Aquarius.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Okay, wrong one. I mixed
It's
those
okay.
up.
I'm going to give you a piece of paper at the end of this that says exactly what
Yeah,
you are
in
too.
English.
So I just feel like over the next year and a half, 2 years, you're going to be going through this evolution of your communities, your networks. Those are going to be expanding, new people coming in. You just overall learning from maybe people that you didn't have access to before. And it could be like within this realm, but I feel like it's going to be even bigger than that.
What month is going to be like, whoa, it's going off there?
September feels like early fall, in the fall area feels quite momentous, if you will.
Okay.
And that's because the eclipses are going to be fully in Leo and Aquarius. So I'm feeling there's like this period between like late 2026, so like the fall of late 2026, and then moving into the new year of 2027, say like February, March time. And I feel like that window.
Okay. Did you ever like read someone and theirs is like they're this year just looks like they're going through it? Like you're like, ooh, you got like a 2 years of Uranus going on.
Uranus.
You got 2 years of
Yes.
Uranus ahead.
Yeah, there's been a few times when I've like, and I try not to do it because I like when someone doesn't really know a lot about astrology and you just like look at the chart and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
like what? But yeah, there's been a few times where I'm like, I don't know how
Hang
to
in there.
just like hold on
Yeah.
tight and
Come back in 2 years.
put it in neutral and just start letting it go. Like, yeah, you can pull the brakes maybe at some point, but it's going to be a mess anyway. So just let her go. Just
Yeah.
finish down the hill. And
Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't come to you before 2020.
I'm like, ooh, girl, buckle up.
Yeah, I'd be like, maybe we should do hypnosis right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
And when people start really digging into that why question and then even taking it to the next step further, like, why did my soul choose to have this experience? Then it stops feeling like life is just happening to you.
Right.
It's there's a reason for it. And if we can find the reason, we can learn the lesson and move past it, like, so be it.
It's just crazy how everything's connected, like, so perfectly,
Mm.
but, like, we don't even notice it, and then we're like, "Wait,
Mm-hmm.
how?"
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I know.
cool, though.
Yeah. There's so many layers to it. And
Do you read into everybody's stuff? Like, if you're like, "That girl's kinda crazy, let me read into her stuff."
yeah.
But you have to be like, "What time were you born and where?"
I've had to oh my gosh, like, especially if I've had a couple drinks, I'm like, "When's your birthday?"
You're like, "I must go
Yeah,
research."
yeah. But, I used to be like even I guess even now, like, I remember people's birthdays before I remember their name,
Yeah.
and that's just, like, my thing. But I've been trying to get better about instead of, like, when I first meet someone, like, asking them what their sign is or when their
Mhm.
birthday is, so I cannot 'cause, like, I'm a Pisces, I feel everything, so
Mhm.
I'm like, "How can I make sure that this conversation goes as effective as possible?"
What do they say when they're like, "Oh, Mercury's in retrograde"?
Oh gosh, okay. So, like,
What is retrograde? I don't even know.
retrograde, it literally just appears, like, if we were looking up in the sky so we have a Mercury retrograde that's starting end of February, I believe, and if we were actually looking up in the sky, it appears as if Mercury is moving backwards, but it's literally not.
Oh.
So the retrograde motion energetically, it just forces us to go inward. And because Mercury represents the planet of communication and mental energy and
Oh.
travel and technology, those are the 3-week windows where it's like, oh, you can't talk at all, apparently, when you're driving down the road and then your car, you need a tire change or
Does it happen
like,
to everybody at the same time or only if
oh,
it's
yeah.
in your random house?
Yep, Mercury retrograde is a collective thing.
Okay, so everybody is Mercury's in
Yeah,
retrograde.
And that really only happens 3 times a year.
That's kind of a lot.
I kind of
How
did
many
the math.
days?
It's like 3 weeks, roughly. 3 weeks,
We have
3 times a
9
year.
weeks of just sheer confusion.
Mhm.
It's in February. How does like a full moon affect all of this? Like, they're like, oh, it's got to be a full moon or something. Like, what is that?
So, full moons, I guess, and I'll say, like, in comparison to, like, a new moon, energetically, when we're talking about full moons, it's usually, like, accumulation of something. It's, the ending or, like, because you can see its entirety. So, in a lot of ways, like, almost all of our emotions kind of on display. And
Okay.
that's, when you hear people say, like, oh, it must be a full moon because
hmm
people are acting wild,
Yeah.
like out of pocket.
So it just like sucks the energy to the surface.
The tides of the oceans are controlled by the moon.
Right.
And we're what, like 70 to 80% water.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, okay.
so really it's like there's kind of I guess the mythological undertone of it, but really if you look at it from like a metaphysical and a science perspective, we're literally water and the moon controls the tides of the ocean. So
Yeah. It just shakes us up.
yeah,
That's
wilding
so
out a little
crazy.
bit. Yeah.
Since we're going into Aquarius season or whatever for the next 2 years, is that what it was? What was
No.
the thing that's happening?
So those will be the eclipses are going to be in Aquarius and Leo. And
Okay. I'm like, wait, I'm getting confused. Cause like, so I'm going into whatever's gonna be like my powerful season for the next 2 years. But why? Which thing?
So that's because the eclipses are going to be in
Okay.
Aquarius. And
Oh, okay. So the Aquarius eclipses that are starting on
Yes.
February 17th.
yes, and
So that's when.
they're going to be affecting, eventually they're going to hit on your moon sign, which is a very personal placement. And so that's why it's going to be more personal for you because it's hitting a personal, not necessarily a planet, but a celestial body for you.
Okay.
Whereas like, let's say that someone that's like, they don't really have a lot of Aquarius in their chart. Maybe one of their houses is ruled by it, but like no planets. It's just kind of just an empty sitting house. That doesn't mean that themes of the Aquarius nature aren't going to come into play. It just means that maybe they won't be as like prominent for someone. Whereas
Right.
like
They
with
won't
you,
notice as much.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna rapid fire all the signs. We're rapid firing the signs, putting everybody on display in a fun way. What is the most misunderstood zodiac sign?
Oh God. I'd argue Aquarius and probably Geminis. And I say Aquarius because a lot of times people will be like, oh, they're aloof and they're like detached and they don't really give a shit when really they care so much that it's like sometimes they just have to.
Shut it off.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They care so much about the world. And then like with Geminis, because there's definitely like the Gemini syndrome there, which is
Two-faced?
yeah.
Or flip-flopping?
That's yeah, one way to
Two
say it, but
personalities?
yes,
Sorry, I don't know.
100%. It's because they can be very, very social creatures, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I've just made all these plans when I was really social, but then the plans come and I'm like, I don't want to do it anymore.
So those are the two most misunderstood. What's the most emotionally deep sign?
Probably Pisces and Cancer too, and I might be a little biased here because I am a Pisces, but yeah, we'd be feeling everything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a lot. And even like a Pisces moon, that's where you really double down on it. Like,
So Kirsten.
oh yeah, yeah. Big
Kirsten
feels.
is feeling them all. What's the sign that loves control?
Capricorns.
Really?
I'd argue Gemini too in there. You could have a Capricorn that really values structure and order, but they were raised in a very like carefree environment. So even though they love structure and order, they also are like they're okay with quick pivots. But Gemini's a close second.
What sign thrives in chaos?
Aries.
Oh my gosh, this is so funny because Anthony's always like, I hate how chaotic you are. I interviewed him a couple weeks ago and our friend was actually interviewing us and he said, what is something about Brittany that you just can't figure out? And he goes, how she's just okay living in chaos, which I feel like I'm not. But so that it is Aries?
Well, it's like, it's not so much that you guys want to like just perpetually be in chaos. It's that you can thrive off the energy of it. So
Yeah.
it's like,
You just bounce to the next thing.
yeah, and you can just ride the wave. Like you have big energy. You have, and being ruled by the planet Mars, it's raw energy.
Okay.
Like, yeah, you can just tune into it and delegate.
But I think I can ride it for a while.
Yeah.
And I think he's always like, don't you want to like stop doing this? And it's like, it's never going to stop anyway.
Right.
So let me
It's
just keep
not
riding it
stopping.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just ride the wave, babe.
That's so funny that you say that. What sign is the biggest overthinker?
My first instinct went to Virgo.
You're just overanalyzing
Yes,
everything?
everything. And like, yeah, they're really good at dissecting systems and like figuring out kind of when something's not going cohesive.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's because they've overanalyzed it.
Yeah, because they can break it down to the friggin' atom, you know?
That's crazy. I like that. Sign you'd want during a crisis.
I think Aries.
Because we'll just ride the wave?
Yeah, because I think about like my oldest friend. If I had like the most craziest chaotic situation happening in my life, she'd be like, I'm there.
And just jump in.
Yes.
Or the other ones are like, I'm gonna go hide for a bit.
Yeah.
We're like, we'll take it. We'll take it.
She like would be there in a second. And I know that if there was a time where I'm like, I can't handle this, she's like, I got it. You know? So yeah.
All right. Love related. Okay. What sign falls in love the fastest?
Pisces.
Really? Oh, because you're feeling all the things. Okay. What's
Also, I'd argue Libra too, though,
okay?
because they're literally ruled by relationships.
What sign takes forever to open up?
Aquarius.
What one loves hard but leaves faster?
Aries.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Aries, when their fire burns hot, it burns hot and they're passionate and like they'll do anything for you. But like
when they're sick of you, I'm gone.
That fire's out.
Bye.
Don't even breathe my air.
Literally. Yeah. I resonate so hard. What sign needs space even when they're in love?
Aquarius and Sagittarius.
Okay.
Yeah.
What sign stays way too long?
All of the water signs. So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Taurus. Yeah, because I feel like it's probably the earth signs and the water signs, because water signs just get like emotionally invested, where the earth signs, they just like to see something through. So it's like, yeah, I know there might be an expiration date on this and I could see it, but I still got to make sure that I.
Okay, so they need to be like overly, let me make sure. What sign ghosts for self-preservation? Scorpio.
Yeah, I mean, water signs. And
they stay too long, but then they also ghost.
Because it's almost like
they don't want to get in.
Avoidance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just being like, the message never existed.
Yeah. Career rapid fire. Which sign works best under pressure?
I'm going towards the fire signs. I'd probably say Aries and Leos, the fire signs, because they can work within like the spicy temperature of things.
Yeah.
And it's like, I gotta go. I gotta make a decision quick. And that's the nice thing about a lot of fire signs, is that they can make quick decisions, where
I get like annoyed if the decision takes too long.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even care what we decide at this point. Can we just stop deciding?
Yeah.
Like, we were naming our second dog and I was so grumpy by like day 3. I'm like, I don't even care what we name this dog. Just name him something. I'm so sick of this. Like, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah. Just draw from a hat.
No, we did. What sign is the most competitive?
Aries.
Oh my gosh, is it just my Aries energy that's just making all the answers?
Well, like Aries are literally, they're the first sign of the zodiac, and
oh, they are?
Yep.
It doesn't start in January?
No, so
well, no, because it's kind of December.
We like, it's kind of a debatable topic, like in the spiritual community, because a lot of us don't really believe that the first of the year is the new year.
Okay.
It's like in March, because that's when the spring equinox is. That's when we have new beginnings. And in the Mayan calendars, I believe, that's when the new year was. Was in March, in the spring.
And the competitiveness just started immediately?
Okay, so yeah, and then where I was going with that. So like, there's just this burst of life, this burst of energy, this like, I always encourage Aries, either Aries ascendants or Aries suns, to like engage in some type of athletic something, because they have to have a place to put their energy. And the competitive part, just like, I feel like Aries almost, if there's a chance to have a competition, have a little playful, I can do this better than you, like, we're
signing up.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a quick fill in the blank. Okay, if you keep attracting the same partner, check your 7th house.
Yeah, I think it's so we call this the descendant, but it's the 7th house. Kind of the same way that the first house and your rising sign are used interchangeably. So the descendant is the sign opposite of your first house, being your own personal expression. So oftentimes it's going to be the qualities that we don't necessarily feel comfortable within ourselves,
Mhm.
which is why we seek them out. So, for example, on my descendant is Sagittarius. Literally all of my ex-boyfriends are Sagittarius.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just does not vibe.
Well, so like my fiance now, he's a Sag rising. So like I
He's got a little
still,
Sag, but
yeah,
he's not too
not
toxic
the
for
whole
you.
thing. It's
Yeah.
like the whole package, it was too much for me. I'm too sensitive. I got my feelings hurt.
Okay.
But yeah. So it's yeah, if you want to figure out like why you keep being drawn towards a certain sign or a certain energy, look towards that. But I'd also, just in a psychological perspective, look at your parents,
Okay.
you know, and dissect that, because oftentimes we end up being drawn towards people that carry things that we weren't very happy with.
The moment someone learns their blank, everything clicks.
I feel like the rising sign,
Okay.
because like in most horoscopes that you see, it's based on your sun sign. And that really can only give you like a tiny little piece of information, where when you know your rising sign, so for you as a Taurus rising, that tells me I can now know when the planets, like the transiting planets that are happening right now, I can tell when they're moving through certain houses for you. So,
Oh,
be-
so that's easier to do like the timeline, to
yeah,
predict the timeline?
because it's like that's going to tell you what house certain things are happening in. Where like, if you're just getting a horoscope on like you being an Aries, it might be like, oh, well, today Aries, you're doing XYZ. When really, like as a Taurus rising, maybe you have, you know, Jupiter moving through this part of your chart. So the reason it's so much more significant is because you can get that much more detailed as to
It's more
where,
detailed.
yeah, things are happening in your life.
Right. This was like so much more in depth than I thought. I mean, I knew it was going to be so far over my head, and I was going to be like an amoeba coming in here being like, I don't know anything. But it's crazy how much it connects.
I hope you found this conversation as interesting as I did. I think the more that I listened to it as I edited it, I understood more of what she was saying. She does birth chart readings both virtually and in person. We're going to unpack all of the hypnosis therapy next week, but get your girls together and get a birth chart reading, because it is so fascinating to just hear her piece it together just by reading a chart. Send this to your friends, give us a 5-star, leave us a comment. It helps push the podcast out into new audiences. I have all of Allie's socials and website in the show notes if you want to book a birth chart reading or connect with her. All my socials are also in the show notes, so if you have feedback, I love to hear from you. This episode was so much fun, so thank you, Allie, for meeting with me and going through all of this with me. This is so far beyond what I ever thought that zodiacs, astrology could even get to. I had so much fun today. Join us again next week for part 2 with Allie on hypnosis. Again, I'm Brittany Racine with Mike It Loud, and we'll see you next week.